This video is for all of us who were brainwashed into thinking that romantic love is what completes us, and that to be unhappy is to not be in love. Romantic love, if I may add. I mean, if romantic love and platonic love are both love at the end of the day, why do we prioritize the romantic love so much more? Is it true that at the end of the day we all have to come back to the romantic love? Or were we just fed this? Did you know in the ancient Rome, people would describe a friend as half of my soul? And reading that today, it shocks me honestly. In today's time, you wouldn't really come across such proclamation of love for a friend. Centuries ago, after the performance of a ritual, men would proclaim themselves as brothers. After the ceremony, they were expected to support each other for the rest of their lives. And some of these sworn brothers were even buried together. Through the 17th and 19th century, people in same-sex friendships would exchange locks of hair and write letters to each other. Honestly, it's rare to find such celebration of friendships anymore. In today's time, gestures like these are only treasured by people in romantic relationships. And what a distaste that is. When I first brought up this topic while having a conversation with a friend, I tried coming up with some reasons. One of them being maybe the difference is the physical intimacy that romantic relationships bring. I mean, you can't have sex with your friends, right? But then what about asexual people? Or people who can't have sex due to any physical limitation? Are they not in love? Also, when you make vows on the aisle, no one ever vote for good sex with their partner, right? I mean, in secret maybe, but not really on the aisle. So I did think about it more and it's not the sex that prioritizes romantic relationships in our eyes, but the need of the society, the human need, reproduction. The most important thing for humans is reproduction. Humans need to reproduce to be alive. And in the quest of knowing the importance of reproduction and taking the family name forward, we started glorifying the romantic relationships so much more. We started to speak of them as if they are the anchor of one's life. You eventually have to come home, reproduce, birth more children, parent them, and nobody can raise a question to that. No one can question the foundation of marriage. It just has to happen. In ancient Greece, the Greeks did not simply talk about love as a unified concept, but they created categories of love, which was called eros, philia, storge, and agape. For them, eros meant romantic love, philia represented the platonic love, storge as parental love, and agape was the love for the mankind. According to them, for a person to feel truly happy, they ideally should have all four types of love in their life. However, we mostly hear about two types of love, which is eros and philia. And mostly philia and storge become secondary to eros. But the question here still remains that if romantic love completes us, the answer is generic, yes and no. Do you love all of your friends? Yes to some and no to some. For me, I believe some friendships have saved me. Some have choked me, be it platonic or romantic love. Love is never a goal to reach but a home to go back to. So if I ask that question to you, every one of you will have a different answer, a different home to go back to. Last but not the least, I have to point out our cultures and laws. Our culture and laws don't really leave room for the possibility of friendship anchoring one's life. So here's the story. There were these two women who were friends for 50 years. They had separated from their husbands, and 25 years into the friendship, they had started living together. That happened as they couldn't really afford to buy separate houses, so they had to pool in and share resources. They used to share doctors, email address, and were basically each other's main support. Later one time, one of the friend Inez was in the emergency room and the other friend Barb had great trouble getting into the hospital when the nurses found out she wasn't her relative. Another one time when two friends Joy and Hannah were each other's only support when Hannah was battling her ovarian cancer. When Hannah died, Joy wasn't even given a leave to grieve her best friend. You see how our society and our government works? There's no space to even imagine that there could be a world where friendship could have the potential of being as significant as the romantic partner or the family. I feel all we do is try to put limits on our friendships, on what they can be and what they can become. Honestly, what is just a friend and what is more than friends? I mean, if being more than friends meant you love someone more than the limit you're supposed to, some of my friends would be my more than friends. So that was it for today's video. Honestly, it's just tiring to look around and see everyone leading to one place. One place we've always heard of but never really seen the best of. But our home is a dream if we seek the romantic relationships over what we have today, our friends. So instead of keeping all our love trapped inside, waiting to look at someone someday and ask them what's their favorite food and places, go ask your friends. Go feed them some ugly hand cooked sandwich. And I hope you find friends who ask you the same and love you the same.